I'm Chris and this is my recessed lighting video. So we got a little model right here. I'm going to show you how to install these, how to wire them up. We're going to talk about lighting options and different trim pieces. And then when we get them all wired up, we're going to go over these. It's like a little light bulb LED thing. It has a switch to change from different options. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what I think about them. And then at the end, we're going to look at this LED that you can control with your phone and change the colors of it. So hopefully this thing works out because I bought this for my daughter's room and we're going to see if this thing is worth getting or not. So whenever you're remodeling, there's not one upgrade, bang for buck, that is worth more than recessed lighting. This completely transforms any room into something beautiful and gives it a real modern and fancy look. For many years, people hated this type of lighting because you needed an extra hot bulb, and then this gets hot and people say, oh, it's a fire hazard. And it really was for a while there. But now you have your LED lights that don't drain that much power and these that don't drain that much power. So these are the light bulbs that I buy, just in case you're wondering what was in that room we just looked at. I got these from Home Depot. They're like $11 for 4. So this video is for DIY guys and girls that are trying to understand this for the first time. So all the recessed lighting stuff is commercial electric. This comes from Home Depot. You can walk in there and get everything that's in this video. So different people are going to call these different things. I call these cans. So whenever you walk into Home Depot, you're going to see these two. They're either sold in boxes of 6 or individually. See the light can with these hangers on it like that? That means it's for new construction. And then you'll see this other style that looks like this with 3 little feet on it. This is a remodeling light can. So the next thing you need to know is IC and NIC. That's insulation compliant or non-insulation compliant. All the remodel cans that look like this are IC insulation compliant. But on the new construction, they have NIC and IC. And literally the only thing difference is this little piece of foam right here. IC means is that if you're putting insulation, that the insulation can come up to this light fixture like that. And you can pack it all around or whatever you want. So on a non-insulation compliant, you cannot put the insulation right up against the fixture. You have to get one of these big styrofoam bowls or buckets that fits over it, or build you a little insulation box out of foam. So whether it's IC or non-IC, it really depends on the bulb you're putting. For many years, people put those hot incandescent floodlights. I call them floodlights, but they're super freaking hot. And I don't even want to know how many homes they caught on fire from stuff like that. But nothing we're using in this video is going to get hot. You can put your hand on it, you can put your tongue on it. None of the stuff we're using in this video is dangerous at all. The new construction light can has to go on before the sheetrock. And you can use this one in new construction too, but the sheetrock has to be installed for this one to even clamp on in the first place. So as different as they look, they do exactly the same thing. If you're going to have the sheetrock out, I highly recommend the new construction one. This is a way better can to go with. But in some situations, you're going to use this one. I use them both. They do the same thing. So we're going to install the new construction, remodel, wire them up, test them so you can see how everything is done. This is a simulated ceiling. We got the 2 ceiling joists, 16 inches on center. So we're doing a remodel. We got the sheetrock out. This is our old light fixture. So they'll usually be somewhere in here. Make sure the power's off. Now just transfer this box somewhere like that. Okay, so we got our new construction light can. And usually these are all bent up. Just try to straighten them up the best you can. So these are going to hang over the ceiling joist like that. See, we got to straighten them up a little bit. And then when you get it all adjusted, we're going to hammer those in. And once you get it in place, hammer it in. So the new construction box is ready to be wired. Now the remodel box needs to be mounted to the sheetrock. So let's get some sheetrock in there. Cans in there, just go ahead and put this sheetrock over it, but mark it and remember where it is because we're going to have to roto zip this out. It sounds difficult at first, but I promise you it's not at all. It's really easy. If you're putting it on the ceiling, you're going to have to get it screwed down, but remember where that light is and don't put all the screws in all the way because you're going to have a bulge right there. So whenever you put it on the ceiling, you may need a dead man and the screws are not in all the way around the fixture. Now I'm going to have a sheetrock video here in the future where I'm going to show you how to put this up by yourself, and in part of that video we're going to be cutting these out in real life. So you're going to need a roto zip or a Dremel Works with this fitting on it. You're up in the ceiling, you find your mark. You really do need to check in here with your fingers before you cut that circle. So then you get the hole cut out, then you tighten your sheetrock and it just falls into place. So the reason I love the new construction cans are because when we're doing our drywall, we don't have a lip right here. So when we're doing our sanding, it makes it so much easier. On the remodel box, it has a freaking lip. So let's check that out. So once you get that sheetrock on there, the new construction box really becomes solid. I really like this one. You have to go with the remodel can. There's nothing wrong with it. It works. It has a little lip, fits on the outside of the sheetrock. It has these 3 little legs. So we're going to find out where we want it. It has a template right there. Okay, so don't think I make these models because they're easier. This is the same amount of work as we would be doing in the ceiling. It's just hard to film in the ceiling. I hate videos like that where people have just completed it and they sit there and point at everything they do. That's why I do it like this, so that we can all see it here. Same thing in the ceiling. I've done this plenty of times. We're going to line it up, just trace around it. Okay, so I use a sheetrock saw to cut these out. Just remember to try to go all the way up and all the way down. Don't just go a little bit. Use the blade. So we just kind of dig into it. Doesn't matter which side you do it from. Just carefully get that out, clean it up. Now you got you a round to it. Okay, so the remodeling can, you got to put these little feet in. Now you got to pay attention to the orientation of the electrical box. Make sure it doesn't hit nothing. So these got to go in like this. They can be a little bit difficult to get them started. You got to get the little feet to clear. So you got to play around with these sometimes to get them in. There you go. So the remodel ones have to be locked in. So you're going to push these little feet in. Got to take a good flathead screwdriver and you got to push this all the way up. It's kind of hard to do until it locks. See it lock, and then just do the rest. So you'll figure out that lock. It's real easy. If you don't, they'll drop back down. Clearly see why I like the new construction box better, because you already know what's going to happen when you're doing your drywall. You're going to hit that edge. It's going to be a headache. You see how it's got those 3 little legs locked in place? So this one's in there and it'll last forever just like this, as long as it's not hit or kicked. But you can clearly see that how this is a way more just structurally better application, but it really doesn't matter. They do the same thing. So now let's wire them up. We have our old light fixture box that was down here. We just flipped it and mounted it to the top of the ceiling joist. So now we just make sure we got our wires and they're in good shape. They all look fine. Make sure the breaker's off when you do this. Just getting the wires ready. Just strip them a little bit. We got our old wires from the light ready to be hooked up. So whether it's a new construction or remodel can, they both have a little nice junction box and make wiring so much easier. So let's just pop one of these open. It gives you these really nice connectors to simplify everything. So this wiring part is for demonstration purposes, so you can see how it's done. You really do need a licensed electrician when you go into junction boxes or anything electrical in your home, because you can burn the whole house down or you can screw everything up. What usually happens with recessed lighting is people replace 1 or 2 lights in a room with 8 or 10 of these and they overload the circuit. That's why you need to get your licensed electrician involved, figure all this stuff out, work safe, be safe. This is just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so this is the old wire for our lights. So then we run our new wire into the box. Okay, so always have something securing the wire. So then get the connectors appropriate for the wires and just connect color to color. Okay. Okay, if you want to be extra safe, wrap the black wire up. So now we come over here to this junction box and connect to these. So just pick one of these holes you want to go in. Okay, so there's different things you can use. We're just going to use these. Okay, come into the box. So these are going these little quick connectors, so you kind of want to strip them that yellow length right there. Just connect them to the corresponding colors. Bare is ground or green, just like that. Black or hot wire, just like that. And then our neutral or white, just like that. It's wired up and ready to go. So recessed lighting is running parallel, so we need to get power from these three and run it over to the remodel box. The remodel box has a little door on it too. And if we look inside, it's got the same three types of connectors. So we're going to run a wire just like this now to over here. I like to wire them up one at a time because if you got like 3 wires coming in here, it's real easy to screw everything up. Now you can run another one right here, or you can just run it in the same hole. So then we come into this box. We're going to use one of these again. Okay, so same thing, just strip the wires, connect them to the corresponding colors. Let's go ahead and get this one in there. Okay, so each one of these connectors can accept 4 wires. So then we just go color to color and add the 3rd wire in there. Make sure to push them all the way to the back. There you go. Same thing, color to color. So now we have power from the switch to the old light, wire to the first one, ran in parallel to the second one. So one switch turns them both on. Now we just got to get this stuff back in the little junction box. So both of these light cans are insulation compliant, so we can just pack the insulation all up in here however we want, and we're not going to have a problem. Pack it in there as tight as you want. These things have 2 walls on them, but you really do need to get your bulbs and put your hands on them and just feel for yourself if these are going to get hot. None of the bulbs, nothing we're using in this video get hot. Remember, the remodel has the lip on the outside. Now these are basically the same things, they have the same features. One of the features is you can set the depth of the bulb. So I just always bring them out the farthest. Take these little red things out. Okay, so this is the same type of bulb that was in my daughter's room at the beginning. Okay, so here are the trim rings. And here's something interesting. This 6-inch right here is for non-IC housings. And this one is for IC and non-IC. It's going to take you a while to figure this out because I still haven't figured it out. So this is my first time in my life putting one of these on. Let's see if this is easy or hard. I'm guessing that's how it works because it's got plenty of tension on it. Okay, so that's actually really beautiful and it's a lot of light. But we have that bulb sunk down as much as possible so we can bring it up a little bit. So these were the bulbs in my daughter's room. 100% pass the test. That's all you really need right there. Now this is the non-IC compliant. And this can right here has these little places that does not even allow this to go in. So I'm not sure about that. So that bulb right there is not LED and it's 1600 lumens. It's really bright. Okay, so I was looking at these. This looks like a real popular and cool product because it has a little switch where we can change. Now, this is only 700 lumens and these are LEDs, so they're not even half as bright as those. Let's check this out. So it has a little bulb thing that screws in. So these have a little bit of weight to them. See the little switch right there? And they look like they're from the future. So we're going to go ahead and test it on warm light. That's the yellow light. See what that looks like first. Okay, that was easy. And then I guess we have commercial electric fixtures and these just kind of snap in there. Oh yeah, super freaking easy to use. That literally installed in less than a minute. It's actually not bad. Let's just turn this one off. Alright, so that is not bad at all. I thought I was going to be disappointed. I'm totally not. That totally passes the test at 700 lumens. To switch it, we just pull it out. Oh, that is freaking crazy. You ain't even got to pull it all the way out. You just switch it like that. Ah, man, I love that already because in the cold weather, I like warm yellow lights, and in summer, I like that. So right now in Houston, Texas, this is what I'm using because it's freaking hot. It's December 5th, 2019, and I'm sweating right now. Okay, so that totally passes the test. That's very impressive. Let's do the color changing one now. See, I test all this stuff out on the bench because if you install this on your house, it's very hard to take it off and take it back to the store. You do a little demo like this, put it back in a box if you don't like it, and return it because that's the way it should be. If a product doesn't satisfy you, you should not keep it. You should go return it. So this is like the easiest, freaking friendliest thing on earth I've ever seen. This is freaking awesome. Passes the test 100%. Now these are expensive. I think they're $30 each. So I need 4 of them in my daughter's room if it passes the test. All right, so same plug. look pretty much the same except there's nothing on the back. So I guess you got to control them from the phone only. Just like the other one, super easy. Let's see the default light color. Okay. So the default is the warm yellow, 670 lumens. Let's check this app out. Okay, so I got to get this Commercial Electric app. This is actually really disappointing because the iPhone app just crashes. It doesn't even work at all. I've already done it several times. Now you need to have Wi-Fi in your house or this is not even going to work. We got it on the warm. You can see that we go through the bright just like the other light. This is freaking awesome. I love it. And now we can go to the colors. And this is when things get freaking crazy. This is like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And I'm going to go ahead and say that this is the coolest thing I've seen in 2019. Now that room is going to get 4 of these. You can change the brightness. I don't think it gets much better than this if you're somebody that's into that kind of stuff. Now, like I said, it's for my daughter's room, but I might put these in my room. I'm not sure. We go right back to the normal lights. It's freaking crazy. Okay, let's see if you can turn them off from the phone. Oh man, you cannot beat that right there. Best product of 2019 in my life is definitely these color changing Commercial Electric lights. Now, the only sad thing is I'm filming from my iPhone because I cannot get the app on my iPhone, which is sad and makes absolutely no sense. But I have an Android phone as well, and it worked 100% on that. So just be careful and let me know if I'm doing something wrong. I will update in the comments if I can get it to work on my iPhone, which at this point is the biggest letdown of 2019. Everything in this video worked out, passed the test. I'm going to keep everything, not returning any of it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.